Evening all, welcome back to Destiny. Right, what we're going to do today is we're going to show you some more of the moon. We're going to show you the surface of the moon now. And we're going to carry on our kind of blibber blabber flim flam talking about Destiny. So that's our running order, gentlemen and ladies. I think I actually saw in the channel stats I have 98% dudes on this channel, so it's a bit of a sausage fest. So I just want to say a quick message to the ladies. Thank you, and I must apologise to you if I come across as rather coarse. I don't mean to. I am actually quite a civilised English gentleman, I promise. And yes, those people now laughing their head off at me calling myself a civilised English gentleman can go fuck themselves. Oh, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Anyway, that was a rather abusive start to this video, so I do apologise for that. Anyway, let's talk Destiny. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the business of Destiny today, because it's going to be quite, I think, an interesting one to see how it does on its kind of first, I don't know, month or two, let's say. I think pre-orders has just gone through the roof. I think it is probably one of the most pre-ordered games for, well, quite some time. I think that's pretty much given. I was talking to some dude, and basically he was telling me about kind of, the way that they kind of do pre-orders now, and the way it works, rather the business of it. So it is seen as quite a good cash generation piece, but it's only just a booking system. But Amazon, I went to Amazon. Other retailers are available. Amazon were basically saying that at this point they're not even guaranteeing the delivery on the day of release now, because there's just so many people wanting the game. Which is nice. It's a bit like GTA. I don't know if you remember when GTA 5 came out. That just changed everything as well, because there was something about GTA 5 and the way they launched it, that it was available everywhere. I mean, I didn't hear anything about people not being able to get it, which was quite cool, because I think a lot of people obviously were, they were flying to go and get it, and I think the reality was it was actually perfectly available. It's pretty funny if loads of people went out and bought like hundreds of copies thinking there would be a kind of shortage, so they could then mark it up and sell it on Amazon. That would have been funny, but or eBay rather. But it obviously didn't happen. It was actually purely and freely and widely available. You will see some people trying to kind of sell the very special edition that comes with the Ghost. If you know what I mean, it's basically the one with the Ghost. It comes with a little plastic Ghost made in China, probably completely useless, but again, people will pay shitloads of money for that, 90 quid plus, I think. And that's kind of cool. Again, don't get me wrong, if you've done that, I'm jealous of you, because I wish I could. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's a funny thing really, that I think a lot of people will go and buy 10 of them and then try and sell them on eBay as special editions. I know this happened with Borderlands 2. When BL2 came out, they did exactly the same with the, I think it was the special, ultra special, really special, no more special than this pack they did, which came with a little loot chest. Well, it's a big loot chest, and there was loads of stuff in it. Now, we got that, and I might even show a picture of it, but it was pointless. It cost me just a phenomenal amount of money for not a lot more, and it was all plastic, and it was all a bit shit. So yeah, I think there's going to be quite a few kind of pissed off people when that kind of thing happens. But again, at the end of the day, if it's your hobby, don't be afraid to spend money on your hobby. And I always remember from my old EVE days that when I used to build Titans, basically I had a guy who desperately wanted a Titan. He'd only been playing EVE about 6 months, but he was just the kind of guy that he power played, and he just said, well, I want a Titan, so can you build me one? And I was like, yeah, sure, but you need like 40 billion ISK, which was a lot of money. And equivalent back then would be like 4 grand's worth of game time cards. Is that much really? And he said, yep, no problem. And he went away, and I didn't hear anything from him for about a week. And he came back, and he gave me 40 billion ISK. Well, it was more actually. And he said, right, there you go, can you build me one now? And I'm like, dude, you just gave me like 40, well, it's actually a lot more. I say it was about 55 billion ISK. You've given me 55 billion ISK, and you want me to build a Titan. You don't know who I am. So I actually did build him. As before, I was a bit of a bastard. But anyway, that's another story. And I basically built him as Titan, and we were talking about it. I said, well, how did you do this then? And he just said, I went and bought game time cards, and I've just sold them for the money. And I was like, okay, that's cool. He didn't buy ISK. He didn't do it the illegal way. He did it the proper way, the sanctioned way. And he actually spent about, I think, $5,000 on this. and he had a Titan at the end of it, and he had fun with it, and he enjoyed it, and he never lost it. He played it for about a year, maybe less actually, maybe 6 months, and then he sold the character. He sold the account and the character and the Titan onto another person. So he got his money back, I guess. But I mean, to me it was odd. I mean, that wasn't legal. If CCP ever found out about that, they'd go a bit nuts, because that was purely illegal. But I guess everybody was doing it. I mean, I've never done it, just to be very clear. I've never done it, but I think a lot of players were just literally moving, from account to account, or rather just, moving from game to game, and they were buying. Anyway, and the subtext of it is that they just said, my gaming is my hobby, so therefore if somebody goes out and spends £5,000 on a set of golf clubs, where's it any different to me buying a Titan, or buying a really good packaged game with a console, and that's why I'm totally on board with it, because it does make sense. This is my hobby as well. I love games, and I'm quite happy to spend money on games because it is my hobby. You spend money on your hobby. People do stock car racing, so they spend thousands of dollars on that. So I do get it. I think actually I'm not even downplaying it. I think it was actually quite a nice aspect of playing games, really. So I mean, PlanetSide 2 is another great example here, where you can just invest money into that and have everything unlocked for you, and you can have everything. You've then got the whole game open to you, all the upgrades for the guns, all the vehicles, etc. So I totally get it, and I suspect Destiny probably won't be like that. But if you're going to go and buy yourself one of these super duper consoles, etc., then that's probably where your investment's going to come from. So it's difficult to kind of be commenting on this, to be honest. I think it's quite cool, to be honest. Anyway, enough of this flim flam. Let's carry on talking about Destiny. Now, to be honest, I'm quite curious to see how this develops. I know a lot of people have really been, I guess, kind of throwing everything at this game, really. Their hopes, their dreams, their aspiration, their firstborns, and it's kind of funny, but I kind of get it. It's rare I get lost to a game as much as I have to this. I mean, it's quite funny seeing Nano Cleric, who we play with obviously quite a lot. He every so often in Skype you just hear this kind of long, low, mournful sob. And you just know it's Nano, because he's really missing the game. It's like, oh, it's kind of sweet. It's like your sweetheart who's got on a train and buggered off for a month, and at first you think to yourself, great, I've got some time to really spend, doing what I want, and then you realise, oh, I miss them now. So there we go. I think a lot of people are actually already kind of mournfully missing Destiny quite excessively. I know I am. I mean, I've got to admit, I do miss the thought of logging on and just playing and rolling around and just shooting dudes and having fun doing it. That rocket did damage, by the way. Did you notice that? That rocket did damage, and I mean damage. There we go. We're going to do a few more montages, actually, because I've got to admit, I think my favourite weapon is actually the rocket launcher now. It is comedy gold, and we'll probably do something with that. But I think just generally, yeah, I mean, hopefully you're handling the weight for this game better than most. I must admit, I do really want to play and find out more and just learn more about the story. It's rare that a story grabs me as much as this one has. I really am actually. I'm invested with this character now. I'm invested with the plight of the Traveller. I want to know who the Traveller is. I bet, this is me throwing predictions out there, I bet the Traveller's evil. I bet he's evil. And it turns out, he came here, and these people are actually the intergalactic space police here to arrest him, and we're aiding and abetting him, which is I really like the thought of that. I think that would make me smile quite a bit, to be honest. Anyway, so we'll see how it goes, but I think at the moment a lot of people are, they're getting ready, and I think now is the time. If you maybe have saved up a few bucks and you're looking to upgrade your console, and go for it. Now would be a good time, I think. If you haven't, or if you're not too sure, if you're not really seeing the benefit of it, then fair enough. Maybe buy a new telly, maybe just enjoy that part of it. And here's another thought: go and buy a sofa that you're going to play it on. That's a nice thought, isn't it? A really comfy sofa, a really good telly, and a really nice console make for one hell of a gaming experience. And I think that's really it, is that you play these things because they're your hobby and they're your downtime, and they should be there for something that you enjoy and you actually spend time doing. in the best possible way, and I think that's why I'm quite kind of keen to obviously we will play this on the PS3. I know we've committed to that, but we are probably going to get PS4 as well, so we may dual run it for a while. This is only because, again, I don't want to alienate the fact that we've got so many people who play on PS3. A lot of the compadres that we play with also will only play it on PS3s as well. So you have to kind of be a little bit kind of careful there. So you will see a bit of a mixture on certainly this channel of footage. So again, don't be the hater, bro. That's probably one of the biggest things of running a YouTube channel, is that you actually end up with many different stakeholders in that channel, buddies, effectively, who do just have different levels. So, for example, we're probably going to play this, well, we are going to play this with Bam and Booker. If you don't know Bam and Booker are, then sort yourself out, because they're funny. Go and watch their Dust stuff, it's very good. And we're also going to play it with Nano and Josh and others. So, yeah, those two groups, one needs a PS4, one needs a PS3. So it's a bit of a challenge, and I think this is why, for myself, I'm kind of curious to see. I'm curious to see how we're going to do that. I suspect the vast majority of it is going to be just, playing the game as we find it. And yeah, it means a bit of double footage here and there. But maybe we do one mission on PS3, we do another on PS4. But at all points, we're going to be playing this game anyway, and we'll generally be recording everything we do, which is always good fun. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. And again, simple stuff. It was fun to fight on the moon. It really was. This is us now leaving the moon. We realised we kind of milked it of everything we possibly could. But I'm looking forward to playing on this thing. I'm really curious to see what the hell is here. I'm really curious to see what more we can do. And I think really I'm really loving this game in general. So I think definitely recommending this. If you haven't bought it yet, or you're not sure about it yet, then I think just go check some of the old videos we've done, and I think you'll see it is a very, very good game indeed. It's the perfect console game, it really is. It's a real sit on the sofa and play with your friends kind of stuff, which sounded really wrong, but I'm not. I didn't mean it to be. So as we walk back to the Earth, there was one thing that kind of got me as we walked and exited warp here. Is this a fleet we fly through? Watch this bit here. So as we kind of drop out of warp, kablow! God, it's a long warp, isn't it? Oh my god, I don't remember this warp being this long. Wow, the moon's not that far away. Jeez. And there we go. Look at that. What's that? All that debris. What's that? What's that? Those ships? Maybe a future map. Ooh, we'll see. Anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.